All right, welcome back once again. I am Beef. I am your casting host, bringing you once again replays from Assembly Winter 2012, the Asus Republic of Gamers tournament. And once again, we are at Game 2 here between these two players in the semifinals, the round of 4. And we are here on Antigua Shipyard, MLG Antigua Shipyard, force cross positions. And let's get these introductions started. In the right, in the red, and in the EG layer, he is Puma. Once again, the Korean superstar, winner of back-to-back NASL championships, took second place at DreamHack Winter 2011, and overall just an incredible player. Many foreigners very fearful from him, and one of the most requested practice partners in the Korean scene. And evidently a pretty good-mannered guy. Dropping the GGGL there. In the left-hand corner, bottom left-hand corner, in the blue, he is the top Zerg foreigner in the world by many, considered by many to be the best foreigner in the world, the ace of Team Millennium, and a French superstar who, Americans like him too. He's mil.Stephano. So last game that we saw on Cloud Kingdom, we actually saw that Puma was able to go a very, very greedy build and dropped an early expansion into his natural and even up into an early third command center, but he was able to hold some really early aggression onto his natural with just 4 Hellions coming out of a reactor Hellion and 1 Marine. Stephano applying a lot of early pressure, not typically characteristic, but if he sees an opening, he will go for the throat. So yeah, Puma able to execute an early defense there, but from that point on, Stephano was able to just get up onto that third base behind it, and Puma was really never able to prevent that. Stephano ended up taking his 4th base in the top left-hand corner of Cloud Kingdom about 4 or 5 different times, maybe. And as a result, the economy wasn't able to get us out of control as Stephano might have liked it to be, but Puma was never able to go off of 3 bases. He was never really able to get that 4th going, and even the 3rd base was harassed multiple times, forced to lift off, and Puma eventually went starved and bellied up against the heavy upgraded Lings and Infestor play coming out of our Zerg player. Ultralisks and Broodlords finished off, but those Infestors, just the signature unit of Stephano over here, just really likes to use that Ling Infestor style against Terran. And I would go so far as to even really call that the Stephano style of ZVT. Stephano style of ZVP, something that we refer to as a 12-minute max out on roaches, and just incredibly, incredibly macro-oriented play for the beginning of the game. And from 12 minutes on, it is just non-stop action. Pressure, 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 pressure. We do see the first Reaper coming out of Puma, the same kind of build as last time. That was a Reaper expand as well with a Reactor Hellion follow-up. And it looks like it's actually going to be something a little bit different this time. Kind of got my head scratching right now. As we see a reactor right here, the only thing that I can think is that he's going to be going really, really early blue flame. Let's watch this Reaper as it comes in. Stephano got a scout on the Reaper last time and was able to actually deal with this with his Zerglings and his Queens without taking any losses. But look at that. Beautiful surround by our Zerg player. Able to get in there. Only lost, I believe, 1 worker. Yeah, 1 worker for 1 Reaper. Take that trade any day. Lost a little bit of mining time, but no big deal. Once again, with this tech lab and this reactor, I'm really thinking this is going to be a Blue Flame Hellion expand. So we'll go ahead and see what happens there. But no, he does actually trade this off, and it's kind of interesting to me that he started those in that order. I don't really know why, because he didn't produce any units at the time. But I guess he just wanted to get the... I don't really know. The Tech Lab does have a significantly shorter build time, so I guess that might have been why he built that with the barracks first. He wanted the reactor started with the factory. So interesting build. Don't see Reactor Hellion after Reaper too often, so I'm not too familiar with that build. But out of Stephano, we do have something almost completely standard, able to get Zergling speed going really fast, actually going back into that geyser right there and taking gases 2 and 3. So it looks like he's going to be going for a relatively gas-heavy opening before taking that 3rd base. So we'll have to pay attention, see what kind of tech he's dropping. But I would expect Lair as soon as he gets up to that 100 gas level. So once again, behind those reactor Hellions, we did have Command Center come down here, already morphed into an orbital, and we do have a 3rd orbital morphing once again. And the Zerg Yeah, I don't think he was able to see that, but let's go ahead and check. Yeah, no, Zergling was not able to see that. Back at home, Stephano still has not morphed that lair, even though he's all the way up to 180 gas, probably waiting on the minerals at this point, but not really sure. Going all the way up to 4 gases right now. Hasn't put drones into that 4th gas. Now he has double Evo coming down. And very interesting, Stephano is really, really saturated down here and not quite as saturated over here. Baneling Nest coming down. Interesting. I think that's more of a defensive Baneling Nest because he hasn't been able to scout anything other than this expansion. He could be seeing something like a really heavy Marine Ball come in. But as soon as he sees these reactored Hellions, I think he's going to feel a little bit more comfortable about his position and know that he's not really in too much immediate danger. The lair does start right there, and so we'll see once that finishes up if he's going to be going something like Infestor or Spire Tech, or if he's actually just doing that to start his 2-2 upgrades right away. Or maybe something like Baneling Speed. We'll go ahead and see. No third coming out of Stephano yet, and being on 2 base with the Terran, with 3 orbital commands for the Terran, not exactly the position you want to be in. He is getting those double upgrades for his ground forces, but Puma, on the same token, going to be taking double upgrades of his own. At the same time, getting combat shield, and I believe that stim was already finished. Yep. Drone is actually going to manage to escape out of this natural and get over to the third. A little bit of sloppy play there on Puma. Should have been a little bit more active with the Hellions right at the edge of that creep, trying to deny that third, in addition to deny any further creep spread. Baneling's already morphed at home, trying to defend against any kind of a Hellion run by big Marine Ball or a drop. Baneling's a very effective unit, just like that. As the lair finishes up, we do see Baneling Speed, kind of like I saw, and it's going to be a really interesting push here. We do see Infestation Pit coming down at the same time as Armory. Armory is going to be so that he can continue those upgrades. It's going to be very nice timing. Armory is going to finish up right about the same time. But the third is actually coming down here for Puma, as we do see these Zerglings are going to clean up all of these Hellions. Nice job. Only not using too many Zerglings to take out all those Hellions, but an acceptable loss. And it looks like Puma is going to head and grab all of these Marines together in this ball right up here, and it looks like he could be moving out as soon as the medevacs start to pop out. Medevac not using the reactor just yet. Both those reactors going to Marines, going to be heavy into the SCV production, and it looks like Puma is actually just going to be defending very very hard, right here in the ground between these 3 bases. That is typically where a Terran would like to be. And the tech lab finishing up, so we're going to start tank protection as soon as he clears that supply block. Not happened just yet. 8 Marines load up into this dropship over here, going to be trying to hit the main. So we'll check back on that in about 45 seconds. But 1-1 Zerglings in addition to Speed Banelings going to be heading out. Pathogen glands started. Infestors started right behind that, 4 of them for right now. And we do see a fully saturated mineral base over here, but nothing on the gases yet. And with something that is gas heavy as Infestor Baneling, really got to question why Stephano hasn't done that yet. But hey, he's the pro player, not me. So we'll go ahead and check that out. But once again, really heavily saturated right here and hasn't taken the gases. So we'll see how that goes. He's floating relatively even minerals, so we'll see. This drop does unload over here, and he's going to be able to take out that queen very quick. Big blow to the Zerg right there. And Zerglings are going to be able to clean that up as Banelings come in. But at the same time, Puma was able to bring up all those Marines, didn't lose a single unit out of that. And when you do have 2 macro hatches right there with only 2 queens in total, 2 queens in total for 4 hatcheries, that is not where you want to be. Zerg rely so heavily on those queens for their injects. Without the injects, your army production is so limited. And I think a lot of players really underestimate the damage that you can do just by getting that queen. For me as a Zerg player, I'd rather lose 6 drones rather than losing a queen, because as long as I keep those injects coming, the minerals will be there eventually. The larva will too, but at a much slower rate than those minerals are coming in. Siege tank up here on the high ground, going to deter the Lings from actually getting in there. Stim on those Marines is going to be able to try to clean up some of these Lings, but this is a big, nasty push coming in right here. Only 2 siege tanks already sieged up, the third one sieging up right now, but Stephano is going to be evaluating the situation with a couple of these infested Terran, trying to check for where the tanks might be coming from, but the Zerglings do start funneling in. 4 bunkers there are going to make it very difficult. Baneling crashing into them, taking out the bunkers, but it looks like this force is going to be thinned out pretty quickly by Stephano, taking down every one of those bunkers. The Zerglings make it onto the high ground to the third. Going to go ahead and take that out. No, could have been some nice Baneling hits right there, but not able to get enough SCVs. Oh, there we go. There's the big SCV hit, and Zerglings are going to be thrashing the middle line of the third. And yeah, Stephano just doing an excellent job with this attack. Puma taking so much damage. Going to have to lift both of these bases, losing SCVs at both of those. And Puma is just in a terrible position. Behind this, I would like to see Stephano take a 4th base, possibly even right there. There it is. Perfect job, Stephano. And these Marines and Siege Tanks are going to be able to be in a relatively good position to clean that up, but Puma, GG's. Just too much economic damage taken there. Did not have the supply to deal with it. Stephano at 3 times the supply. And yeah, that's GG. Once again, though, thank you for watching. I've been Beef, your casting host, and I'm still learning with casting, so thank you for watching these. Thank you for sticking in there with me and helping me learn, really. Without your input, I'm not going to get any better. And so I'd really appreciate if you guys are watching this on YouTube, leave me some comments, let me know what I'm doing well and what I can really work on. So I'd like to get better so that you guys have a more enjoyable time and so that I feel better about myself and I'm more encouraged to continue casting. So it's something that I enjoy. But once again, thank you for watching and stick around for Game 3.